What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something special to look at. I'm totally going to butcher this name, so forgive me in advance. We're going to be looking at the Parfums de Marly Paris Pegasus Exclusif. I'm probably the worst ever in history to say that name, but we're going to take a look at it today. We're going to be doing a fragrance review. And as some of you know, just a little note up front, I actually have a scent allergy, which means doing these types of videos are just a tad bit harder for me, but we're making the most out of it. We're going to have a lot of fun doing it, and I'm going to give it my best. Also, quick shout out, this bottle of this awesome looking stuff was provided by LUX Perfume over at luxperfume.com, which is a vendor we have looked at before in a couple of videos, but if it's your first time, they're an online shop dedicated to offering authentic luxury fragrances at better prices than you'll usually see at department stores or boutiques. Their entire mission is about cutting through inflated markups and making sure fragrance lovers can explore fragrances like this one here without breaking the bank. And so far in working with them, I've had a great time looking at their offerings, finding stuff I didn't even really know that I would like Creed Viking, for example, Green Irish Tweed, and this one here today. And in looking at this one here, the Pegasus Exclusif, this is my first interaction with this brand. I never honestly even heard of this brand or fragrance. It was actually recommended to me by a friend and collaborator. Shout out to you, Ron, for recommending this. But looking closer at this one here, Parfums de Marly, based on research that I've done here, is known for creating bold, regal scents inspired by 18th century French perfumers. Again, that research online tells me that this is kind of a sidekick to their original Pegasus, with this one coming in a bit darker and richer according to other reviews. Now, admittedly, my nose is completely messed up. We've already established this, so I'm gonna do my best to interpret this the best I can. When I smell this here, what kind of pops out to me is it opens with kind of bright and spicy notes. You've got cardamom in there. I think it's listed also pink pepper and a little bergamot, which I can definitely identify there. There's also, according to the brand, heliotrope, which is something I don't think I've ever seen that word before. Heliotrope, which I looked up. Kind of brings a powdery almond-like vibe. I do get the kind of almond note in there, which I'm told is kind of like a trademark of this brand. I think it's very much present, but there's also this lavender and jasmine presence there, which kind of soften things up a little bit. I also think the base notes are very present in there too. You got vanilla, amber, sandalwood, a little bit of oud in there. It's warm, it's creamy, slightly smoky maybe, kind of balancing everything together. And actually, balance is a really good word. Balance is a word I want to focus on here. I really feel like this fragrance is nice and balanced. You really get a bunch of the notes right up front. When you really first take it in, you get a lot of those notes playing together and kind of coming out at you at different times. But it's also very nicely balanced together as one unit, one team. It's warm and rich without being too heavy. Another way I describe it is maybe sweetness with restraint. That's a good way to describe it. I think the almond and the vanilla sweetness is there, but it's tempered by the woody backbone. Side note too, this has to be one of the coolest bottles I think I've ever seen. I mean, it's stamped. And it's heavy, it's robust, it's luxurious. I mean, I love the look of this bottle, by the way. Longevity too, actually wearing it, throughout the day. I'd say it's strong, about 7 to 8 hours on skin, and even longer when it's, absorbed into your clothes or something like that. The projection, I would say, is decent compared to some of the other ones I've tried, which admittedly is not that many with my I'm still kind of building experience, but I would call it decent. I've also read reviews from other people who say they feel like it's decent as well, especially in that first couple hours, but it does calm down after that. It's noticeable without being overbearing, which for a scent like this, I think is a really good balance. Once again, going back to that word, a balance. In the end here, do I like this scent? Yes. Does it destroy my allergies and my nose due to said allergies? Also, yes. This is a really great example of a scent that's great, but also something that is not going to jive with my body, unfortunately. This really, even just trying to get these sentences out right now is giving me a little bit of trouble because I just started smelling the scent here. But this is ultimately a prime example of why I like to say never judge the scent by the allergy. This is a great scent. It has a lot of depth. It's expertly balanced and it's fantastic in its presence. But ultimately, I can't breathe around it for long. You know, I'm gonna probably start choking here in the next minute or two, so I need to probably wrap this up, which really sucks for me because I actually really love this fragrance, and I'm really glad that I tried it. You know, I really think it's actually been fun for me to experience different things and kind of figure out, push the boundaries of what I can tolerate. And you know, that's how I stumbled onto a few fragrances that I'm actually wearing daily now, which has been really fun. And I have Luxe Perfume to really thank for that. Their info will be in the description. I highly recommend you check them out. And if you're curious about this one, or you want to explore other luxury scents at better prices, throw that in there, at better prices, check them out. As always, I'm also interested in hearing your opinion on this fragrance or some other ones. You know, let me know. Have you tried this one? Or have you tried something else from this brand? And, you know, maybe while you're at it, let me know where we should go from here. What should I look at next? What would you like to see in future content? That's very much appreciated. I always love hearing from you guys. That, though, is all I got for today. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking this out with me. Remember to do the big three for me: like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, take it easy. I'll see you next time.